Hi, it's Mr. Townsend here. Have you looked up in the sky and seen a rainbow? Have you ever wondered how is it that that rainbow comes about? Well, in this video, I'm going to go quickly over how rainbows are produced from a phenomena called dispersion. Okay, so if we take pure white light, what we can do is we can do a wee experiment to see what actually white light is, and we find out that white light is a bit more complex than we initially thought. If we shine a pure beam of white light into a triangular piece of glass or perspex, what we see is that the white light, when it hits the surface, when it goes from the air into the glass, it starts to split up. And we start to see this rainbow forming. What happens is the red part of the light, when it hits the surface, bends a little, but the purple part of the light, or the indigo and violet, bends the most. We call the bending that happens when light goes from one medium or one type of material can travel through to another refraction. So the white light goes into this prism, and some of the red light bends less than the purple light, and we start to get this what we call dispersion, or this breaking apart. Once it gets to the other side, it breaks apart even more, and it produces this pattern of a rainbow that could be then projected onto a screen. Now, you might have seen sometimes people have cut crystals that are held up near a window, so when the sunlight hits them, that dispersion pattern happens at the same time. Now, in this case, what we find is the white light produces a variety of different colors going all the way from red all the way to violet. Now we have a wee acronym or wee short way of remembering this, that it goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And the easiest way to remember this is just to remember somebody's name, and the name is Roy G. Biv. So Roy is the first name, Biv is the last name, and G is obviously the initial of their second name. So Roy G. Biv is the wee short saying that we use to remember the order of colors in a rainbow. And remember, this type of occurrence is called dispersion. So when white light travels from one medium or one type of material, it's transparent and goes into a different medium, it will change its direction. And the purple colors bend the most and the red colors bend the least. So as they go through two different changes, we get a dispersion or separating happening. So how does a rainbow form? Well, a rainbow forms in the same way. So in that we can go from air into glass and produce a rainbow. We can go from air into water and produce a rainbow. And in a cloud, we have millions and millions and millions of raindrops. And when the sunlight enters the raindrop, it's changing from one medium, air, that light can travel through, to a different medium, water, that light can travel through. So the colors of the light bend at different rates, and we get this dispersion starting to happen. The difference about a raindrop particularly is actually on the other side of the raindrop, it reflects, it bounces back. And then as it gets to the other side, to this left-hand side, it breaks apart again, and it makes you get this dispersion phenomenon happening. And this is then projected onto the cloud, and it produces a rainbow. So I guess the two most important things to pick up from this video that are really important is that the first thing is that white light is made up of a variety of different colors. It's not, when we see white light, what we're actually seeing is a mixture of all the colors: red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, and violet. And it's actually more than that. The spectrum goes from red all the way down to violet and all the colors in between. They are all part of white light. And if you lose some of those colors, then you no longer have white light. The second thing is we can disperse, or we can use this phenomenon called dispersion. If we put white light, if we move it from air into a different medium like glass or water where it's more optically dense, the light disperses or breaks apart into the colors that white light is made of. So often, just one last thing, here's the rainbow from the start. One thing I want you to notice here is it actually produces two rainbows. You can see the rainbow at the top. We don't always often see that. And it actually has red on the bottom and violet on the top. And the bottom rainbow has red on the top and violet on the bottom. Now they are both produced at the same time. One is produced when the sunlight goes through the top of the raindrop, and that's the top rainbow, and the one where the sunlight travels through the bottom of this raindrop and then bounces and goes up the top is the top rainbow. Well, I hope that's helped you understand better how a rainbow is formed, and you've learnt something about white light and the colours it's made of. Roy G. Biv, and we've learnt the new word dispersion. Thanks very much for watching.